Hello traders, Rich here, and here's a quick but detailed update on gold. As usual, if you guys like video analysis, let me know in the comments or simply leave a like. So let's get started. As we clearly see, gold has been overall bullish for a while, making higher highs and higher lows, and it's currently testing a very strong support area. It was acting as a resistance previously, then price broke it upward, so it's now acting as support, and we also have the lower brown trend line acting as a non-horizontal support. So that's why we'll be looking for trend following buy setups from a long-term perspective. Of course, unless this support is broken downward, then it would become a resistance and we'll be looking for sell setups on its retest. It would be a shift in momentum from bullish to bearish, and this would be our new trend, which is like a medium term bearish movement, but for now it's still a correction unless it's overextended and this happens. So long story short, we'll be looking for buys or we'll be looking for sells. So for now, let's zoom into lower time frames and look for buy setups. We can see that lately gold has been trading inside this channel. Right, we were looking for sell setups around the upper bound as mentioned previously. For now, approaching the lower bound, looking for buy setups. So as per my trading plan, I'll be waiting for this, for a new swing high to form around the upper red trend line to consider it valid, and then buy on spike upward. For those who know me, I highlight it like this as our trigger, and if this happens and the buy is activated, the stop loss would be below the previous swing low, and we target a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, which would be around the upper resistance area. Meanwhile, and until the buy is activated on gold, would be overall bearish, and we can still break the support for it to become a resistance and so on, as mentioned from daily. Before we continue, I want to tell you about Tickmill. Tickmill is established in 2014 and is one of the leading Forex and CFD brokers with registered users from more than 200 different countries. Tickmill is a no-dealing desk and ECN broker regulated in many countries like the UK, Cyprus, and recently in South Africa. With Tickmill, you can trade a wide range of instruments, starting from Forex to indices, commodities, and even crypto. Most importantly, with very low spreads and trading fees. If you don't have an account yet, make sure to create one using my referral link in the description below to benefit from 5% discounts on your trading fees. And let's continue. As we clearly see, EURCHF has been overall bearish for a while, making lower highs and lower lows, trading inside this brown channel. Lately, price broke below this support area, so it's now acting as a resistance. That's why we'll be looking for sell setups on lower time frames, unless of course it's broken upward again, then our resistance would become support one more time, and we'll be looking for a trend following buy setup from a medium term perspective. Of course, we are bearish from a long term perspective. Now, if you zoom into daily time frame, we can see that we also got this trend line in blue. We've got this low and a lower low, so we could draw this trend line. Of course, as mentioned from weekly, the same analysis. We've got a rejection here, was acting as support previously, now acting as a resistance. So we are looking for sell setups. Unless it's broken upward, then we'll be looking for trend following buy setups. Now if you zoom into H4 time frame, we can see that we are stuck inside this range, right? We can see it better from H4, a range in the shape of a symmetrical triangle. So the upper trend line is our upper bound and this is our lower bound. So as price approaches this area, we'll be looking for sell setups. That's how you zoom in from a higher time frame to a lower time frame. And we also got this supply zone. So just like previously, a supply rejected it, traded lower, a supply rejected it, traded lower, and so on. So as price approaches this area again, we'll be looking for sell, unless eventually, because like price can't really trade inside a symmetric triangle forever, we'll have a break eventually above it or below it. But for now, we are still trading this range in the shape of a symmetric triangle. If you zoom into M30 time frame, we know that we were bullish previously, then price broke below the previous low. We are bearish, now we are in a correction phase, waiting for the exact same scenario to happen, bullish, then bearish, to happen around this area. So as per my trading plan, I'll be waiting for a new swing high, and this is the supply zone we saw from H4 time frame. So as per my trading plan, I'll be waiting, for example, for a new swing low to form around the lower trend line to consider it valid, and then I'll be selling on spike downward. In this case, the trigger would be below this area, the stop loss is above the last high, and we target 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, which would be around the lower trend line the lower trend line in orange. Meanwhile, until the sell is activated, EURCHF would be overall bullish, can trade higher and higher to test this upper area before trading lower or even break it upward. Best of luck, and I'll see you on the next one.